Hi everyone, this is a quick video to show you how to use the new Google email online. This can be a full replacement for your Outlook if you want it to, and it has some pretty cool features that it's worth having a look at. So basically when you're, let's just start when you're actually on Google and you've logged into Chrome with your new Ariwa College NZ address, you might want to make things easy by clicking on your 9 dots here, clicking Mail, but because, God forbid, that's 2 clicks, you might want to bookmark that on your top bar up here. So I'm going to do Control D or Command D on Macs, and I'm just going to call it capital letters Mail, and I'm going to put it on my bookmarks bar, and I'm going to click Done. Now I can drag these, and so it's an important one up here. Now if you don't have this bookmarks bar, that's done on the 3 dots, and you'll hover over bookmarks and it says show bookmarks bar. Okay, so that way I can have my docs and my drive and my mail all as bookmarks up here, and they'll launch different tabs for this. Okay, now I covered in another video how to make your Google email look a bit more like Outlook with this. By default it doesn't have your actual emails on the right hand side here like Outlook does, and so we did that under settings, and I'll just quickly show you that again. We're going to go to the cogs for mail, the settings for mail, go to settings, and we're going to go to on one of the labs. It's one of the trial features at the moment. Some person's been able to put it together. I do a search for preview pane, and I can enable the preview pane, and then I click save, and so now my inbox has got the preview pane. It doesn't appear straight away. You have to sort of come up here and decide how to split it this way. Alright, you can do the horizontal split and you'll get your mail like that. Some people might prefer that. Now, because all our email is now coming to one place, we will now probably want to look at doing some filtering. So in Google Mail you can do filtering. So again, going back to the cog for settings, I can now do this. So I can set up a filter, and on a create a filter, I can do a search. Now what I want to do is I want to filter out any Google Classroom emails into its own folder. Google Mail has decided to call folders labels because it's sort of more like tagging and separating email using labels, but they basically are folders. And so to say that anything that has the word classroom in it in the from, I use the star. I'm just going to zoom in here, type the word classroom, and then put a star. The stars mean that anything before the word classroom and anything after the word classroom is counted within the from category there, from the from field. So anything from that involves the word classroom, I will create a filter for that. You can see it brings up all my email with the word classroom in it, and then I can apply a label, which is basically create a folder, and I can either choose one I have or I can create a new label, and I created one called Google Classroom, and that means that by having that ticked and then creating that filter, it will shift all of my Google Classroom mail into, instead of being in my inbox, it will now be in my Google Classroom folder. There's another option to actually, for Google Classroom, to turn off email notifications completely. So we can do that in a different video, and that means you don't even get any email in the first place. So I'm just going to go back to splitting it my favorite way, the vertical way there. Okay. The last thing I want to show you is the signature. You can do that. So again, going back to the cog and settings, we can now go down the general settings too, because it's quite a key one. I've got my beautiful little face as my picture there, and here's the signature. So I can add a signature in here. Now to do this, I would quickly switch to Outlook, or Mail in my case, but in my Outlook I've got my signature. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go back to Chrome, and I'm going to paste it in here. Now we have the banner image, so underneath this, what I've emailed you is the banner JPEG, the banner thing, and by clicking on this little picture, I can now go to I've dragged it from the email to my desktop, and on my desktop I have the banner, and I can now in Chrome drag it from my desktop Oh, whoops, Daisy, nice little video mistake there. I like those. Uh, Instead of it being on my drive, if it was in your drive, that would be great, but I'm going to upload it now, so I click on upload first. Then I go to my desktop and I drag it and drop it in. So we will upload it and put it into my signature, hopefully where I put the cursor. Okay, and now I should have the image there. Maybe it doesn't show, we'll see. Ah, there it is. Whoa, okay. So, that's interesting because that's ginormous. Let's just see how that works. Okay, so now I'm going to, I want to insert the signature before the quoted other emails. I quite like having a nice neat email at the top, and at the bottom here I can now save changes. Let's see what that looks like. So I go to compose a new email, and I'm going to send that to myself to check that I don't have to shrink the image before I send it to you guys at oriwacollege.nz, and I am testing signature. Okay, send. Now, while I also do that, here's the testing signature. Oh, it's still coming up big, so trust me, the one I send you will be smaller. But never mind, you get the idea. So while we're composing, let's compose another email. Now, we work at the school and we have the directory, and a lot of people will be asking me, how do I find somebody? So I'm going to click the 2. This 2, it doesn't look clickable, but it is clickable. I can click 2. And I can do directory, change it to directory, and I can search for something like AA for all staff, and you'll see that all teaching staff can be ticked, etc., and all staff, and I can find anyone, including all the students now, in the directory. So if I type in Richard, search for Richard, it will bring up lots of versions of me. There you go, Richard Collins. Okay, so that's how you search the directory, and you can select and add those, tick those people, and email those people there. That's how you compose an email, and that will do for this first mail video. Have fun.